Strong language has a bad reputation. It can offend and hurt. However, vocal language has huge power. It's used to convey extreme emotions like anger and frustration. Swearing also relieves pain and can boost your credibility. It seems that if you're allowed to swear while your hand is in ice water, you'll hold out longer. So swearing certainly has benefits. Stay with me till the end to find out more. We swear at all ages, when we are alone or in company. Moral knights punished obscenity in the 15th century with the cutting of the tongue or even death. Today we approach it differently. Children and young people usually receive a warning. Swearing has been scientifically researched since 1933. The discipline of maledictology arose in the United States. From Latin, maledictere means the curse. This discipline studies the psychological, sociological, linguistic, and neurobiological aspects of swearing. Swearing is an outlet for aggression. It relieves stress and pain. For example, if you hit your thumb with a hammer. We also curse when we want to express humor, sarcasm, or surprise. In some situations, we consciously use swear words to offend others. Even politicians sometimes swear. Strong language often involves naming things you desire but aren't supposed to desire. Swearing words are often associated with sexual activity, sexual reproductive organs, references to excrement, and religion. These are the most common words used in both Asian and European languages. But there are also differences between different cultures. The Dutch language is the only language that uses diseases when it comes to swearing. For example, in 2014, Ohio University analyzed 51 million random tweets. Nearly 8% of that contained obscene language, and the vast majority of those contained these words. There is cursing in all socio-economic classes, but research does show that people at the bottom of the social ladder swear more than those at the top, probably because they have less to lose. Personality also plays a role. Extroverted and dominant people swear more often. Believers and anxious people are less likely to swear. Mormons, for example, never swear, at least in company. Some people think that swearing is evidence of a scarce vocabulary, but a large arsenal of swear words indicates good speaking skills. Children begin to swear words from the age of 2. These are neutral words in the first place. The negative reactions of the parents give them a negative meaning. However, it is useless to punish cursing children. The urge to curse and insult is deep inside. Swearing is part of social development. Children need to be explained why and when people swear. This deprives the obscene words of an attractive halo of mystery and prohibition and helps to better understand the emotions of others. Why is swearing so attractive? According to science, swear words are categorically different from the rest of our language. Linguistically, swear words, in their simplicity and expressiveness, represent a primitive form of contemporary speech. In contrast to other words, swear words evoke strong physical reactions in both the speaker and the receiver. In 2013, a study was done at university in Wales among students. They need to hear swear words such as shit, emotional negative words such as cancer, and neutral cues, while their skin conductivity was measured. Skin conductivity is affected by the level of emotional arousal. This conduction was stronger with swear words, especially among students who used to be punished more often for swearing. Strong words in our native language leave the strongest impression. That arousal may also ensure that we remember swear words better than neutral words. The arousal activates the amygdala, a brain region in the limbic system that plays a role in emotional evaluation and influences the formation of memories. People who, for medical reasons, have had brain tissue removed from the amygdala do not remember swear words better than other neutral terms. In one of the studies, it was found that participants were remarkably slower in judging taboo words than with neutral or other emotional terms. It turned out that the effect was not due to the strong emotions that the words express, but rather to the degree of taboo. Vulgar language can evoke hostility and fear in others and jeopardize social status. But it also has positive effects, for example, on your credibility. The stories with swear words people find more reliable.
What?
A scientific study of vulgar language in group dynamics has shown that outsiders can only join the group if they adopt their slang and show their solidarity. Some experts recommend managers to allow unconventional or rude language among colleagues to improve the atmosphere at work. An important purpose of swearing is to let off steam. It acts as an outlet and can relieve mental tension. When you ask people directly about why they swear, they mention the reduction of stress and negative emotions. In addition, swearing relieves pain. During another experiment, 67 students had to hold their hands in ice water, which is painful. Those who were allowed to curse in the meantime persisted for an average of 40 seconds longer and showed a reduced perception of pain and an increased heart rate. The underlying theory is that swearing increases the level of aggression and puts the body in a state of alertness. The autonomic nervous system responds with a fight-or-flight response, which ultimately leads to less pain. Stress has a similar effect. Scientists have discovered another effect. Swearing improves physical performance. They let test subjects cycle on an exercise bike. Anyone who cursed hard in the meantime could withstand greater resistance. But the swearing can also be pathological. Certain neurological damage is associated with the expressive use of profanity or the inability to swear. The right hemisphere appears to play a role in this. At the end of the 19th century, the French surgeon Paul Broca described the Broca aphasia, named after him. Damage to the left frontal lobe left his patient only able to say "tan-tan." But the man could also swear, although most reports censored it. Because his right hemisphere remained intact, neuroanatomists concluded that the uncontrolled, more automatic part of our language, including swearing, is more strongly controlled from this hemisphere. The prefrontal cortex, the frontal part of the frontal lobe, functions as a supervisor and must, among other things, watch over language etiquette. The prefrontal cortex evaluates social situations and suppresses inappropriate behavior. A problem arises when this control mechanism fails, as for example in Gilles-de-la-Tourette's syndrome. This manifests itself in motor and vocal tics such as eye rolling and throat clearing. 1 in 5 people with Tourette's also suffer from coprolalia, compulsive swearing. Brain imaging research shows that their brains contain less white matter, which is the connections between neurons. This causes a disinhibition of the limbic system and the basal ganglia. Patients with Alzheimer's also sometimes swear and curse, and that is also associated with this type of brain damage. So the prefrontal cortex keeps you from swearing all the time. If this control fails, certain areas of the brain can no longer be controlled. Brain imaging had shown abnormalities of the connections between nerve cells in the frontal lobe. Some researchers believe that swearing evolved from animal sounds and formed the transition between vocalizing and human language. Swearing can give us a greater sense of control over adversity. By swearing, we show, if only to ourselves, that we are not passive victims, but are able to fight back. This can boost our confidence, motivate and mobilize us. As an American writer and humorist, Mark Twain said, "When angry, count to 4. When very angry, swear." But does it mean we need to swear more often? I don't think so, because not all swearing is equal. If you constantly use strong language, your words literally lose their power from overuse. Besides, you can use the same word with a different purpose. For example, it can be also used to insult or to discriminate against somebody. If you like this video and want to see more of this content, don't forget to subscribe, to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Thank you very much for your attention. See ya!